Hey everyone, it's Victor here, and today's video is an interesting one. Before I get into my P.O. Box nightmare, and it really was a nightmare, I am not exaggerating here, I want to tell you that I already recorded this video a week ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago. But when I got the footage back into my computer, Osmo decided to mess up the audio. Badly. Basically, it was so quiet, you couldn't hear me at all. Some weird system setting had got set to low volume, and I didn't press it, but for some reason Osmo had set it to low. So, I'm a bit annoyed having to re-record this video. Primarily, the reason I'm so annoyed is because I also did an unboxing at the end of that video. My first ever P.O. Box unboxing. So unfortunately, my first-hand reaction of opening my first P.O. Box letters and things is gone. And I'm really sorry about that. But I am going to go through everything I opened on that day and talk about it. I know it's not going to be a genuine first response, but it's something, and I feel really awful that it's some mistake I've made with the camera. But the unboxing, the describing of what I got in my P.O. Box will be at the end of this video. I am going to tell you a horror story to begin with. So, as many of you know, I set up a kind of donation thing to get me a P.O. Box. And I know there's a lot of controversy about, you know, people giving donations for unnecessary luxury items for influencers. I totally get that. My light is doing something weird in the background. Hold on a second. My light was just slowly sinking down like a setting sun. I wasn't having that, sorry. It's fixed now. At the time, I had no regular income at all, and people were requesting that I got a P.O. Box. But I couldn't afford one, so it was the only option for me really to say, look, if you want me to have a P.O. Box, you can donate and get me one. And I was lucky enough for that to happen for me. So I bought my P.O. Box, and I finally got a letter through in August saying that my P.O. Box would be ready and available on the 19th of that same month. So I was like, great, fantastic, we're all sorted basically. And I read down the letter and I realize my P.O. Box location is a place very, very close by, a very small town. I live in the middle of nowhere, and my P.O. Box address is basically the next village down from me, in a tiny post office with no delivery office at all. So that's a little weird, but I'm thinking, well, it's Royal Mail, they don't make mistakes. The hell they don't. So I waited a few weeks. I didn't want to immediately go and check my P.O. Box because I knew nothing would be there. I hadn't even announced it publicly yet. So I waited 2-3 weeks and finally went to that post office. I then presented my pink card, which is a little, like, you know, identity card and has the number of my P.O. Box and everything on it. Passed that over, and the woman behind the counter looked at me with the most searching and confused expression I have ever seen. And she looked at this pink card and was like, I have never seen one of these before. I didn't even know we did P.O. Boxes. At which point I look at her and I'm like, this is a joke we're having a joke right now. It wasn't a joke. She then went to the back to check my P.O. Box, even though she had no idea what she was doing, and of course came back with nothing and said, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do with this information. You probably should phone Royal Mail. So I went home, confused, and kind of alarmed, and I immediately decide to ring Royal Mail. I just want this over and done with. I don't know what's going on. I want some answers. So I ring them up, and I sit there on hold for about 30 minutes. Nothing. But I'm patient. I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And at this point, I need to get on with my day. So I hang up. So I think, it's cool, I'll ring later. So I rung again, same thing happened. Rung again, same thing happened. I rang 4 times that day and couldn't get through. But I'm persistent. So I finally get through to someone. I think this is the 5th or 6th try, and I finally get through to someone. And I say, hi, can you please help me with my P.O. Box? And in response, the lady on the phone says, oh, honey, this isn't the place for P.O. Box help. That's another line. I can put you through if you want. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. Please, put me through. So I hear a few buttons being pressed and, you know, like shuffling papers and, I don't know, cogs moving in their brains or something. I don't know. And then I get taken back to the hold music, which then goes on for a further 10 minutes. At this point, I've realized I think the person on the phone made a mistake. They clearly just put me back on hold instead of putting me through to the next line. So I'm kind of livid at this point, because I've spent so long trying to get through, and I've now been put on hold again. So I go through the whole shebang again, I ring, get put on hold, eventually get through to someone, and they say the same thing again. This isn't the line to help with P.O. boxes. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm pressing all the buttons, which are like, you know, where it's like press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for this. There was no option for P.O. box with those buttons. So I was just pressing, for anything else, press this button, which I was doing every time, because I didn't know what else to do. Also, I want to make this perfectly clear. The number I'm ringing every single time is the number that is printed on my P.O. Box letter that I received. It says, if you have any inquiries or problems with this service, please ring this number. So of course, that is the logical thing to do. I am ringing that number. Just hold that in your mind, okay? That is the number they told me to ring if I have any problems. This is important. So anyway, I get through to someone for the second time, and they say, this isn't the line for P.O. Box help, same thing. So I say, can you put me through? And she's like, yeah, sure, I can put you through. And I'm like, okay, sure you can. Right, let's see if this happens. Let's see if I just hear Mozart playing instead. And there's a couple of minutes of silence this time, which is more worrying. And she comes back and says, I can't get you through. I can't put you through. I don't know what's going on. I just can't put you through. I'm really sorry. Try ringing back later. Try ringing back later. Okay, so you've told me this is the wrong number, but I'm just gonna ring it back later. And I even ask at the time, I'm pretty sure I asked at the time, can you give me the direct number? And she's like, no, sorry, it's within the system. So I'm like, okay, right, okay. So I don't know, this is over a couple of weeks that this is happening, by the way. This is the time scale. So after this fruitless ringing and ringing and ringing, I decide to go and speak to an actual human being face to face again at my local post office in the tiny little town. And I'm like, I know they have no idea what's going on, but at least it's someone that I can talk to and there's no hold music. So I arrive at the post office and it's a different lady this time. And I have to explain the whole situation again, which is tiring enough. But then, she actually says something quite helpful. She says, we will ring the headquarters for you and get this sorted out. That sounds good to me. She says, we'll get back to you tomorrow morning. We'll phone you. And I'm like, great, fantastic. I'll wait for your call. Well, the next day came and went, and I got no phone call. And because I was waiting the whole day to hear from them, obviously I did nothing towards getting this sorted. So the next day, I then rang them up myself, the local post office. And they said, oh yes, we've rang them. Which first of all, I was like, well, shouldn't you have told me that? We've rang them, and they're working on it. They're working on it. And they'll get back to you as soon as they can. Let's just, reverse here for a second and explain that this is now a month later. This is September. And I have no idea where any of my mail is. And I have paid 160 something pounds in other people's donations to this company. And I have no service. I have had no service for a month at this point. So I've been told that I just have to wait around and they'll call me and it will all be sorted in the magical background and I can just get on with my little life. So in my sweet naivety, I sit there and I try to the best of my ability to get on with my life. But I am getting floods of messages and comments and people saying, I've sent you something. Where is it? Are you doing an unboxing? What about the P.O. box? Blah, 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 blah. I am getting constant reminders of this. And it's stressing me the heck out. Because I have no control over it. I have no idea what's happening. I am just kind of waiting to hear news, basically. Now, at this point, it is reaching about 1.5 months, and I've heard nothing. So yeah, I ring again. I ring that number again, and I go through that hold music again. And this time, I finally get through to someone who actually helps me. Can you believe that? I couldn't. Remember, after all this, I've been ringing the number they've been telling me to ring all this time, and this man tells me, oh, P.O. Box help, don't ring this number. You have to ring the business customer's number. I've been ringing the residential customer's number, which is the number they have given me and that was printed on my letter. Because that is the logical thing to do, isn't it? And I've been on the phone to 2 people, 3 people at this point, and none of them have said, ring the business number and they'll be able to help you. All they've said is, I'll put you through, and then not put me through. So unhelpful. So this guy finally says, ring the business number and then they will help you with your P.O. Box. I want to scream at this point because I've wasted a month and a half on ringing the wrong number. So, after this enlightening conversation with this actually helpful person who works at Royal Mail, I get through to someone who can actually help me. And at this point, I have to say I did actually have tears in my eyes because of the built-up stress over these 2 months. And I can't believe I'm getting to this point where I can speak to someone who can actually help me. It sounds so sad, but it's true. I was like, I'm so lucky I found this person. So, I explained everything to him. And he advises me to launch an official complaint, which is what I do, and he gives me an official complaint number, reference number, and everything that I can check up on later. And he says, okay, we've got everything we need, I'm gonna put this through, and we should phone you within the next 48 hours. It should be resolved. So I'm like, great, okay, cool. But again, I feel a little nervous because I am then waiting for their phone call. But at least I have an official reference number for my complaint, and I can always check up on it. So I sit and I wait again. Again. So honestly, at that point, I was sighing a huge breath of relief. But not for long. Because I waited 2 days with no news. And I was getting worried again. Because again, I didn't know what was going to happen to my mail. And on the letter that I got as well, it said if you don't check your mail every month, your service could be cancelled. So I'm like, well, wherever this mail is, they probably think I'm ignoring it and not going to check it, when actually I have no idea where it is. So I thought, I really hope they don't bin or send back some of my things that have been sent to me, because I knew for a fact that things have been sent to me. Many people have been messaging me saying, I sent you this, I sent you this, I really hope you like it, I hope you've got it by now. And I'm like, I wish I did. I wish I did, friend. But anyway, so I've waited 2 days, no news. So guess who spends another half an hour on hold, but on the business number this time, so it doesn't feel as painful, because I know I'm actually ringing up the right number. It's me. It's me. I spend that half an hour. And I do finally get through to someone. And I say I have a complaint number, and I want to follow up on it to see what stage it's at. So I give them the number, and they then tell me, as simple as breathing, that my P.O. Box is at this other address. Not the one they had written on the letter, but a completely different place. A bit of a drive from me. In a place that I thought would be the most logical place to put a P.O. Box, because it's a bigger city. So, this entire thing has been a misprint. They have misprinted where my P.O. Box is, and this is the whole problem. So this very helpful lady then gives me the actual address of the place and says that there's this many things in the box and you can pick them up whenever you want. And I hang up at that point, just like, thank you, hang up. And everything that's happened to me within these 2 months with this just like hits me, and I kind of just curl up in a ball and like have a bit of a crisis. And this, it sounds like such a privileged thing to have a crisis over, but it was more the stress of everyone wondering where their stuff was, their priceless handwritten letters, their artwork, their gifts that they had bought for me. That's why I was worried, because I had no idea where those people's things were, and I paid their money to get this. That's why it was so stressful. So I finally went to my actual P.O. Box address and I picked up my stuff for the first time, and it felt great. Oh, but I forgot to say there was also a complication when I got to the P.O. Box location. They couldn't find my box. That was also the kind of nail in my coffin of this whole experience, because I thought everything was sorted. And I got there, and the guy was like, okay, alright, I'll go and have a look in the back. Shuffled through, I heard a few, like, elephants moving, and, you know, the usual thing you hear when people go into back rooms. And he came back and he was like, oh, there's nothing in it. I can't find your box. I think your stuff might have been moved. And I'm like, I know for a fact I have things. I know for a fact I have things. Go and look again. And at that point, like, my mum was with me, and I think I was, like, clearly not happy. And there was people in the queue. I wasn't being unreasonable. I wasn't going, oh my god, go and look again. I was just like, can you look again, please? Because I'm really sure that there are things in my box. Can you please have a look? And oh my god, and I forgot as well that my mum got a phone call to say that someone in the village had seen horses out of the field and thought they were our horses. So I was in the P.O. Box place thinking that my horses were running on the main road. So everything just was like hitting me. By the way, it wasn't my horses, but we did find them and they were someone else's and we put them back in the field. So it's all fine. It's a happy ending there. So my stress levels were like, my adrenaline levels were sky high at this point. He came back eventually and found where they put my things, which I have here. And that was the end of that. But there was more. A few weeks ago, I actually got a phone call from Royal Mail apologizing officially for what they'd done and the treatment they'd given me. And they then extended my P.O. Box by another 2 months. So those 2 months that I lost, I then got back. So I have this P.O. Box for 2 months longer than I initially thought. So, you know, that is a happy ending at the end of the day. So yeah, that was my P.O. Box nightmare. Thanks for listening. I hope that all made sense. It was an insane time and I really don't want to relive that again. But the fact is my P.O. Box is active and I can go and check it whenever I want. So if you do want to send me things, it's all cool. Your mail won't get lost. I know where it is. Speaking of which, I would like to go through the things that I unboxed in my failed recording of this video the first time. I'm so sorry this has happened, but I do have some interesting news because I realized I missed one letter out which I actually didn't open that had fallen on the ground. I just found it on the ground after recording the video and I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry. So there is one that I haven't, I obviously kind of like half opened it because I was like, what's in here? But it's actually like not read yet. So I will leave that one to last. And that can be a genuine reaction one. So yeah, let's go through what I got. I want to honestly express my thanks and just like admiration and appreciation of Jiri, otherwise known as Great Victor Lockhart Fan, who got me so many things. They actually run a fan account for me, which is insane. They gave me some of... just dropped one, which is typical. They gave me some of their favorite tea, which is caramel rhubarbe. And I've already had a pot of it and I absolutely love it. So thank you so much. They also got me some makeup brushes. There is one other, but it's actually in my makeup box, but I actually haven't opened these yet. Got me some makeup brushes, which is lovely. And this, which is a lip gloss, liquid lipstick. Which is in a gorgeous color, so that will be fun to try. Oh yes, and Jiri also sent me some of her fan art that she did of me, and it's gorgeous. I mean, look at these. Aren't they beautiful? I love it. I love it so much. They're so good. Oh, I think there's another one here, which is more in like a kind of like a bookmark form. I mean, a very large bookmark, but you could use it as a bookmark if you wanted. Right, I need to find this letter. They're all mixed up together. I feel really awful. Oh yes, that was another thing that Jiri did for me is, she made... I'm trying to get my face in so it doesn't focus on my face. Can you see? It's shimmery, but it's my logo that she made kind of into a charm. And it's just the most gorgeous thing. There's two of those. But yeah. I'm shook. Thank you so much, Jiri. You're wonderful. So I'm going to read a snippet from Jiri's letter because I think I can't read all of it, unfortunately, because it is 3 pages long and I want to get through everyone else's. Just at the end of the first page, it says, "I'm happy I can make you smile once in a while with this letter and everything else I do. You just make my life so much better. I remember clicking on your CL Try Not to Laugh video out of boredom and laughing about CL more than about the video clips. Your impression was and is still perfect. I wasn't too much into cosplay until I saw you 4 or 5 months ago, and now I'm practicing my makeup and my first wig, which will be for Grell." Jiri, you are a wonderful individual. I have read through this whole letter. And it's so wonderful that you have so much passion for what I do, and the fact that you spend time supporting me and sharing all my stuff and making fan art and encouraging other people to make traditions around me, which is mad. This year, Jiri and also her friend Rose, who is also a wonderful human being, created this thing called Lockhart Inktober, where basically they had a prompt list and everything, and it was like Inktober, but kind of like based around things about me, and people would draw me or whatever. It didn't need to be about me, but it was just kind of connected to me, and I would see them all and I'd share them on my story, and they organized that. And I think that is amazing, and I feel so privileged and lucky that I could inspire them to do that. It's just insane. They have a whole group chat, and they've made their own fandom. This is the thing, I haven't really done anything towards this. It's all been Jiri, and obviously everyone else involved. But yes, Jiri, I'm sorry I cannot read your whole letter out loud, but it is so precious, and I have it here, and I will treasure it always. And thank you for your gifts as well. Wonderful gifts. Thank you. This is a letter from Lily, and it does cover some mental health stuff, so if that's not your jam, I will tell you when I stop reading this letter and you can skip forward. Dear Victor, hi, my name is Lily and I'm a really big fan of yours. This last year I have had a few issues with depression, anxiety and self-harm, but I'm happy to say things are getting better. I'm so happy things are getting better for you, Lily. Your videos brighten my day and you make me so happy, and you really helped me through my struggles. You've also really inspired me to be me around my peers, as well as the teens of this generation, especially in my secondary school. I live in England. I am now proud to say my friends support me in being a goth and anime lover, but they still think I'm Undertaker's twin with questionable dark humor. Anyway, I just want to say I love your cosplays, especially the Black Butler ones. Like, seriously, you need to tutor me in cosplay and makeup. I love every single one of your videos and you in general, so with much love from one of your super fans, Lily Murray. A fan and writer to die for. I love that so much. And they have their Instagram handles here. And they also say, "P.S. Remember everything's dandy," which definitely are words to live by. I appreciate that, Lily. And I'm so glad to hear that things are getting better. Keep strong and just keep being yourself. I'm very proud of you. I want to say as well, I'm sorry if I mix things up. I do have some fan art and I've realized I've kind of forgotten. Oh wait, no, this is from Melody. I have some more fan art, look at that. Isn't that amazing? And I think this is from Melody too. Correct me if I'm wrong, everything's mixed up, but I'm pretty sure... Were they this from the same person? I'm really sorry because I unboxed it. I'll have to go and check the footage, but they're wonderful. They're so wonderful. I am so sorry to interrupt mid-video, but I filmed this video and realized I'd left one letter out again. I can't do this again. I can't believe I've done this. So I'm gonna read it now, and I just apologize again for how scatterbrained I am. I'm so sorry. This is from Yana. And this came in Jiri's like package, which is why I got confused because I put all that stuff on the side like I'd already read it. So forgive me. And my wig's off and everything. Look, I'm completely like, I was done filming. I'm like in a sweatshirt. It says, "Hi Victor. I just wanted to try and say how much I love you and your cosplay skills, and to say how proud I am to be a Lockhart. I really love your channel and your Amino as well. You know what's crazy? You and your videos actually helped me through very unhappy times that were very hard for me. But by watching your videos, I felt like I maybe do matter, because I was always thinking I didn't, and that nobody cared about me. But I know this is not true, and all because of you. And I want to thank you for that more than words can say. That is so wonderful. I am so happy that I could do that for you. It's insane. And also, you really are my anchor in the rough thing that is called life, and you help me not to drown. That is so gorgeous and beautifully metaphorical. So thanks for being who you are and keep doing what you do. I'm already looking forward to it. Lots of love, Yana. Thank you so much, Yana. That is honestly such a sweet letter. And I'm so sorry that it got lost under the pile of everything, but I'm inserting it here randomly in the video, and I'm not sure at what point. But thank you, Yana. I really appreciate your existence, and your support is so appreciated. Thank you. But anyway, go back to the video where I look much better and I have a wig on. Wait, no, they're not from the same person. This is from Laura. This is from Laura. I have a little note here saying, hey there, Victor, I made you some pins from Sebi and Grell. Hope you like them, and I hope you can read my messy handwriting. I'm sorry. So that's from Laura, and it says, by the way, you're the best YouTuber. There we go. Yeah. Wait, okay, I'm extra confused now. Laura and Melody are the same person, and they have a letter as well. Dear Victor, I'm not sure how to start, so, hi. Hi. I really adore your videos. In my opinion, you're an amazing person. I don't comment often, but when I once did, you even replied to it. Gosh, I was so happy. I was the girl who thought you lived in London. Ah, yes, I remember. Well, my birthday was a bit sad after that. I'm very sorry it was sad, but I'm still happy that I can write you a letter and give you my fan art. I'm still a young artist, and I'm so sorry if you dislike it. I love it. How could you even think I would dislike it? I love it. Your art is amazing. Your videos always help me relax when I'm drawing, so thank you so much for that. Oh, and I forgot to mention I'm from Germany, so I'm terribly sorry if I have any spelling mistakes that might make you cringe. No, your spelling and writing is better than mine. Like, look how neat this is. It's insanely neat. Also, I love your cosplays. They look so cool, especially your Sebi and Grell cosplay. One of my biggest dreams is that maybe one day I could cosplay with you. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it, not at all, okay. But I wasn't good at drawing either, but I never gave up. That's the important thing. Keep going, keep trying. By the way, I also love your CMV with Victorious. It was my favorite song at the time, so again, thank you. And look, there's a little Sebastian drawing. Isn't that adorable? The reason why I'm writing you this is because I want you to promise me that you'll never change who you are, because we all love you for who you are. Every person who supports you loves you, supports you and loves you the way you are. So please promise this to us. I do promise that, absolutely, and you're very sweet to say so. And then they just go on to say that they've given me the fan art, and I've shown you that already, and they've drawn a picture of themselves, which I think is absolutely adorable. I love it so much. So thank you so much, Laura, aka Melody. This is another letter. It says, Dear Victor Lockhart, may I start off this letter by saying how much you inspire me to get into cosplay. Before I stumbled across the amazing Ciel and Sebastian cosplays you do, I didn't even know what cosplaying was. But when I saw the How Gay is Sebastian video, I knew I had found a person with an amazing personality and an incredible talent to make such funny and imaginative videos. Thank you. I honestly cannot put into words of how much you have inspired me and how much you mean to me. You may get a lot of letters probably saying the same thing. These are the first letters I've ever received saying these things, so I really appreciate it. But just know that I genuinely mean it with all my heart. Your cosplays are spectacular. I can't tell you how much effort you put into making them. I can tell how much effort you put into making them and the videos you make. I could praise you all day, and I would. Did I mention you make an amazing Grell? Thank you. I love being Grell. Osmo very annoyingly ran out of battery at that point, so I'm sorry about that. I actually forgot what I was talking about because I've been waiting around for him to charge. But while he was charging, I did open this letter because it had a warning on it saying, warning, this is very depressing and sad, please don't cry. So I thought, for the benefit of everyone on my channel watching this, I wanted to make sure that I'd read through it before I read through it on camera. And I won't read out the full thing because it will be very triggering for people. It was really shocking for me to read, actually. And I don't really know what to say. It's... Basically, to summarize, I've got a letter from this lovely boy called Liam, who said that he discovered my channel and found out what cosplay was and stuff like that. But he also found out about what being trans was, and he saw my story and the whole, I think the video that he saw was I'm a boy, I think, is the one where I was like, yeah, I'm sort of coming out as a trans man. And basically, when he was coming out, I'm not going to go into detail, but when he was coming out, an awful thing happened to him, a family-related thing. And something really heartbreaking happened to him, and I was just sitting there reading it, and I just couldn't believe that anyone could go through that. It sounds horrible, and Liam, I am so sorry for what you've been through. That is not fair on you. It is not your fault. What happened was not your fault. Okay? I want you to know that. You are valid and wonderful, and who you are is not something that other people should use as a reason to be sad, or a reason to hate you, or treat you badly, or say you've caused a problem within their life. That is not your fault. I'm really, really humbled and honored that I could be there for you at that time. It really has hit me quite hard, what you've said. But I love and appreciate you, and I'm so happy you found a place here, and that you are becoming yourself. But this terrible thing that happened was not your fault, and I want you to put that in your mind, please. You have nothing to feel guilty about. You are perfect, and you don't need to change for anyone. And that goes out to anyone who's watching this, for any reason, not just if you're trans. You're all wonderful individuals, and I'm blessed that you can be in my life, that you're watching my videos. That's a blessing on me, really. I feel extremely, extremely blessed to have you all here. Stay safe, be happy, live your life. Things are going to get better. And it's going to be so hard to move on from that, because I feel like I've got in such an emotional place with that letter. But I am going to treasure that. I really am going to treasure that. Oh, okay. Okay, let's move on to another letter. Okay, I've just realized, looking back on the footage, where Osmo died and where I left off from. And I want to continue on that letter, so I'm sorry that that happened. It's a bit mad. It's the letter from Eowyn that I didn't finish reading, so I'm sorry, Eowyn. I'm going to continue now. It's the one that the last thing I read was, did I mention you make an amazing Grell? Thank you so much. Your Grell is so amazing, and oh my god, I love your Grell voice impression. If I got told you were his voiceover, I would believe whoever told me, because you're just that amazing. Thank you so much. I always wanted to be good at Grell's voice, so that really does make me happy. I'm also going to be going to London Comic Con in October this year, and I wondered if you were going. I'm going on Saturday the 26th of October. Are you going? Love from Eowyn. No, I didn't go, and it is now nearly December that I am making this video, so I'm sorry I didn't go. I can never really make it to London MCM because it's very expensive and very crazy, and it's quite far away from me because obviously I live up in Scotland. So no, I didn't go. I'm very sorry, but hopefully one day. Also, I've mixed up again because everything's mixed up. I've got this art as well, and I'm trying to link it to someone's letter, and I don't know whose letter it's come with, and I feel really bad. I think it might be from Laura. Please forgive me if it's not. Is it from Jiri as well? Oh my god, I feel so bad. It's just because it hasn't got a name on it, and everything was mixed up in my files after I did the first unboxing, so I'm really sorry, but appreciate this right now. Appreciate the boy and the lovely Red Reaper at the bottom there. I have a postcard here. A very lovely picture. It is in Frankfurt. Winter Sets In, it's called. So that's very pretty. And the note on the back says, Dear Victor, you have been a big inspiration to me. Please keep up what you are doing. You make a lot of people very happy. Never stop being you. A fan from Michigan. Oh, thank you so much. Now, my final parcel is from a very lovely friend, Ida, who is known as Sebastian Art on Instagram and Amino and everywhere, and you know I already love them to bits. But they sent me some prints and a little note which has really, really cute drawing on it. It says, "Dear Victor, I hope you'll enjoy my small little gift for you. It certainly won't be the last one. You keep inspiring all of us, and I'm incredibly grateful to know you. Much love, Ida, Sebastian Art." And look how beautiful their little logo is and everything. They've gone to so much effort. I have the prints here, and it's all just so beautiful. I have this here, which is actually me. Fan art of me that Ida has done. It's of one of the looks I did on Instagram, and I'm gonna get my face out of the way so it can focus on it. There it is. So pretty. And some Sebastian art, funnily enough. Art of Sebastian. I just love this concept of the roses, and it's just absolutely stunning. I'm still to get frames for these, but I love them so much. And the third and final one here is more art of me that Sebastian Art has done. And just look at that. Isn't that absolutely insane? Prints are such wonderful quality as well. But Ida is a wonderful human being, and you have to go and appreciate her right now and go follow her. She's wonderful. But anyway, I think that's everything. I am so sorry if I've missed something. I had all these in my files. There may be some things I haven't picked up yet from my P.O. box, so if you are waiting for me to read out your letter or whatever and it's not here, it may just be still in my P.O. box, so I apologize for that. But yes, this video has been completely insane and emotional and stuff, and yeah. But I cannot thank the people enough who have sent me things. I feel incredibly honored, and the fact that I actually have a working P.O. box now and it's actually somewhere I can go to and pick up my mail is a very cool thing. So if you want to send me anything, please do. It will make my entire life. But anyway, I really must finish this video because if I don't, it'll go on forever. So, for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.